Hello everyone, welcome back to the another session in Principles of Programming Languages. Today we'll be going to talk about last data type, which is pointer and reference types. Now let's get started. So what is a pointer? That we'll discuss, and also we'll cover about how pointers are used in other programming languages and what are the design issues of pointers. These 3 points we'll cover from this video. So coming to your examination point of view, there are some points what you can expect as 2-mark question that I'll tell you meanwhile of my lecture. Now, so a pointer is basically which stores address of the other variable as its value. So we'll take some example and we'll show you the same. Right. Now let's see, pointer as a type is in pointer type as one in which the variables have a range of values that consist of memory addresses and a special value. Now it consists of memory address, correct? Now I'll give you an example to understand. Let's say that I is a variable and which is having a value of 100 at the location of 1000. Okay, it's a normal variable. So general variable is what? It's a memory location which hold a value. So pointer variable is what? It's also consists a value, but that value is address of other variable. Now let's say j is a pointer variable. Now this pointer variable will hold a value, and that value is what? 1000. 1000 is a value, but whose address is that? This is address of I. So pointer is, it's a memory variable which stores address of other variable as its value. Otherwise it may consist even nil also. A pointer can hold a value, a pointer can have nil. That I will tell you why it will have nil. If it have nil, then what kind of pointer it is, that we'll discuss. Now, the value nil is not a valid address and is used to indicate that a pointer cannot currently be used to reference a memory cell, right? So this is what, when pointer is holding a nil, then the programming language which uses pointers first, or else you can say the first high level programming languages which started using of pointers is PLI. PLI is the programming language which started using of pointers into it, and PLI in which pointers could be used to refer to both heap dynamic variables and other program variables. Now it is what a dangerous notation I can say in pointers, which is dangling pointer. The meaning of this is what? A dangling reference is a pointer that contains the address of a heap dynamic variable that has been deallocated. When you say the same example to understand this one, when I assign address of I into this, if I is not at all existed, then it is what? Dangling pointer. Did you understand? So dangling pointer is what? Whichever variable deallocation was happened in the program, if you allocate address of that into the other variable, that is what dangling pointer. Now, let's see about use of pointer. So basically we have 2 kind of uses. One is indirect addressing, the other one is dynamic memory allocation. These are what 2 best use of pointers. And let's see about what are the languages which support pointers and how it will support. So the programming languages you can see here, variables that are dynamically allocated from the heap are called heap dynamic variables. You just keep this in mind because I am going to use several times about this. Heap dynamic variables. If you remembered about array types, there also we were discussed about memory allocation. One thing is about stack, the other thing is about heap. When memory is allocated heap dynamically, then that we were using about the pointers. Either we'll have a dynamic memory allocation or else we have an indirect addressing. Now, they often do not have identifiers associated with them and thus can be referenced only by pointers or reference type variables. Variable without names are called anonymous variables. Now, pointers, unlike arrays and records, are not structured types, although they are defined using a type operator, which is asterisk in C and access in ADA. These are what prominent keywords what you will see when you go through with the programs of ADA and C. In C, we are very much familiar that we'll use asterisk symbol. That pointer is being initialized with this symbol, which is asterisk. In ADA, pointer variable doesn't have any symbol. It will have a keyword which is access. And now we'll see about the reference types and value types. There are two categories of variables which are reference types and value types. Now let's see about the design issues. Those are various design issues using of pointers. We'll see about few design issues using pointers. The design issues are what? What are the scope and lifetime of a pointer variable? And what is the lifetime of a heap dynamic variable? And are pointers restricted as to the type of value at which they can point? And the dynamic storage management addressing, whether it is dynamic or it is static, that also one of the design issue. And should the language support pointer types or reference types? Now we'll see each one how it will get supported in the languages. Now the operations basically will perform two kind of operations using pointers. The one is assignment operation, the other one is dereferencing. And there are languages which support only assignment and only dereferencing and both. Well, that also we'll see. The first operation sets a pointer variable's value to some useful address is called as assignment operation. Assignment operation is what? A pointer variable value to some useful address. Dereferencing is what? Which takes a reference through one level of indirection is the second fundamental pointer operation. And the basic languages are what? In Fortran 95 we'll use implicit and in C++ we'll use explicit. In ADA we'll use implicit dereferencing. So basically dereferencing can be done in two ways, implicit and explicit. Fortran 95 and C++ will use implicit, explicit, and ADA will use implicit. You can say this, contemporary programming languages will use implicit like ADA and Fortran, and C based languages will take explicit. Now here it is a code. So I told you that C will use what? The symbol, asterisk symbol C uses, and also ampersand symbol it uses. Asterisk symbol denotes the dereferencing operation and ampersand denotes the operator producing the address of a variable. Those are two symbols what we'll see here. Star pointer is what? Dereferencing operator, and address is what? We are storing the address of that variable into this variable. This is what a prominent syntax of a general pointer variable, how it gets placed into C based languages. Now we'll see about reference types. So basically what is reference type? Reference type variable is similar to a pointer with one important and fundamental issue, which is a pointer refers to an address in memory while a reference refers to an object or a value in the memory. So pointer is what? It refers to the address. Reference type is what? It refers to an object or a value. So Fortran and ADA will be having implicit declarations, and that will take pointer type. Now I'll introduce the other programming language which takes reference type as its initialization of the pointer. Now that is what? C++. So we were seeing about the syntax of C just now. In C++ we use reference. What is reference? That we refer the address of the variable through a object or through a value. So basically this is what we use in C++. If you see here in C++ code, you didn't find out any kind of asterisk symbol, correct? In C we have a symbol of star. So star represents dereferencing operator that we were discussed just a moment, right? In C++, you don't have that kind of symbol. You have only the ampersand symbol. Now look at this. Int result equal to 0. Int star reference result equal to result. Now this is what we just have, only the referencing. We don't have any type of pointer. We are not pointing into any kind of memory address over here. So pointer types and reference types are different. Pointer type is we are pointing to the address. Reference type is what? We are pointing through the value. Right? C++ provides reference types. And the other languages what I have listed now, which are Fortran and C and Ada, these languages will use pointers. And that too pointers declarations wise, it is explicit declaration, and these two are what? Implicit declaration. So this is about pointers and reference types. Thank you all.